So here we are at Kelby Church, 1 week after taking the organ out from Welton-le-Wold Church, both in Lincolnshire. So far the console has now been stripped down, the soundboard taken off, the bellows has gone out, and we're left with a roller board which is horizontal. It's pin action down to the roller board. It all looks in very good condition. It's all been checked and there's no corrosion, there's no wear on the trackers and stickers, but all the buttons and cloths at the back are now going to be changed. And it's those buttons and cloths that are in for replacement. Inside the console there's nothing, the bellows is out as I say. There's a bit of pneumatic tubing, that's all going to be replaced. This is the soundboard which is upside down, showing the under action. Had to replace one of the wires on this as it got damage coming out, but apart from that there is nothing which needs replacing. However, the stop control has all been dismantled, stripped down, re-greased and put back together, and that goes over to those rollers at the end. Leaning against that pillar there is one of the pneumatic chests, and that's for the melodic open diapason, which picks out the top note for you. That'll be going back to the workshop for full overhaul. Already back from the workshop is the treble side board on 16 chest, which is pneumatic. That's all been overhauled. That's ready to go back in and be tubed up. On this organ without pedals, the board on 16 is melodic and it picks out the bottom note automatically for you and plays that note as if you've got pedals. The other side is ready to go back to the workshop because it's in the right state. This is more of the pneumatic action for the melodic open diapason, going back to the workshop. And that's the bellows back from the workshop after overhaul. That's ready to go back in. On top of the bellows you can see the keyboard, 48 notes, and it is F, well it's actually E, isn't it? And that's a dummy at the top, it's to D sharp, so that's quite a sensible 4 octaves, much more sensible than C to C would be for church use. Apart from the keyboard about to go back to the workshop, we've got this pneumatic chest. Something to do with the bass, we'll find out when we try and put it back together. And as you can see, those pneumatics are holed and they'll go back for replacement. As you can see, we've taken over the north side of the church. The organ's actually going in that corner there. That's where the console is. Whilst we've got the camera on those pew ends, they're 14th century. As we zoom out and round the church, there we go. If we look at that herringboning above there, and that is 11th century. So it's certainly a church that dates back a bit. And just before we leave the church for the first week's work on this organ, what's that say, 12th of April 1905. Job number 697, pattern 48, and signed. So that's now dated it. I thought it was 1904 from my educated guess. It turns out it's 1905. I discovered that when I stripped the soundboard down. That's the pallet guard. Right, we'll leave Kelby and see what happens in a week's time.